Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Wendy. Well, it's Wendy, but my nickname is Wendy. Today, we're gonna be talking about my journey, my story, and I don't really like talking about it, but I felt like it had to be said because there's either people my age who, you know, they have every opportunity, but they take advantage, they don't care. Then there's people who struggling, who they feel like there's no hope in the world. So I don't want it to be that way. I want you guys to hear my story, and maybe it'll motivate you. Maybe it'll show you that you don't got it as bad as you think. So this is my story of living at a shelter at 17 by myself, no family, no friends, but myself. I just want to say I'm grateful, for the resources that the shelter gave me and for everything that I acquired from it. But the experience itself was not pretty. I went through my deepest depression during this experience, and you just really got to be prepared for it if you make that decision to get into a shelter. So it all started off with family issues, of course. Disclaimer, I love my grandmother to death. Like, I love her. But we did have issues. We weren't seeing eye to eye on many things, and we just kept arguing, and I was tired of it. From the age of 4 to 15, I got abused by my parents, my mom and my stepfather. They would lock me in a room, and they wouldn't let me use the bathroom, so I would end up, doing the business in the room for my entire childhood and most of my teenage years. Once ACS removed me from the household, I was placed with my grandmother, and I'm grateful that she took me, but that just wasn't where I was supposed to be. A year after I moved in with my grandmother, my mom passed away. She had lupus, so I went through a lot in high school, and I tried to keep as positive as I could, but I had a lot of anger issues, and yeah, I got myself into problems, but I had to, realize that the world wasn't my enemy. Life is just the perception that you have of it. So I had to learn to be open-minded, that there were some good people out here, that I wasn't by myself. And this is how far I've gotten in life. But let's get to the story. I'm sorry, I got off track. So yeah, now my mom passed away at 16. So after that, I'm 17 now, and I can't handle the toxicity in my family. I'm tired of it. I just want to be by myself. I want to be independent. I'm done. So me and my grandmother got into a situation over my first tattoo. She did not like it because she is Christian, so she was not happy. So words were exchanged, and I ended up leaving the house. I ended up leaving, going to my friend's house, and my social worker was like, "You gotta go back. We're gonna call ACS." And I was just like,
"Call them. I don't care. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done."
So they called ACS. ACS was like, "She's 17. She's technically almost an adult. She can choose where she wants to be. Da 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 da." So my social worker gave me the option. She was like, do you want to go back or do you want to go into a shelter? And I said, I got nothing to lose. Throw me in there. I got nothing to lose. So, like 2 weeks later, living with my friends. I lived with my friends for like around a month or two, a month and a half, around there. Then in around August, I ended up moving to the first shelter. In the shelter, there's this process that you have to go through. You have to go to the drop-in, then you get sent to emergency housing, then you get to sent to transitional housing, and then you get placed at an apartment. Either NYCHA, Section A, or an independent program that helps minorities or whatever. So I am grateful to my social worker. I absolutely adore her. She got me placed in an LGBTQ shelter. Believe it or not, LGBTQ people receive more rights in the shelter system than regular people. But that's just because, LGBTQ people have fought so hard for their rights, and I give them tops for that because they really outdid themselves. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have, I don't think I would have really survived the shelter system. Like, if you do your research, real group homes and real shelter systems, like, I'm not saying I ain't go to a real one, but like, for regular people, you get placed in like crowded buildings with just beds everywhere. You get your stuff stolen. You don't know who you're sleeping next to. And like, mind you, I was still in a shelter. So yes, I had people sleeping in the same room as me. But I don't know how to explain it. They weren't dangerous as per se. Like, there was some like ghetto people. And like, don't think I'm like, being racist or whatever. No, it's like there's ghetto people that are all gangs, all affiliated. Like, that's what I mean. But what you call it? So I actually skipped the drop-in center part because my case manager got me to level 2 without passing level 1. So I went through level 2, which was the emergency housing. I stayed there from August to November. And when I tell you, that was an experience. It was like a group home. You had it was like a house but with 2 houses in it, if that makes sense. And on the first side of the house, like, I believe it was the left side of the house, you have transgenders. That's where the transgenders sleep. Then on the right side of the house, you have like lesbians, bisexuals, you have non-gendered people, you have it all. So I got placed. I was on the 3rd floor. Yes, I was on the 3rd floor. And when I tell you, this shelter, oh my god, I'm not naming no names, but the stuff that I have experienced is no joke. When I tell you, I had a roommate who shaved her entire body and left the whole tub with pubic hair and left the crib. Didn't clean it, didn't do nothing, just left the crib with a whole layer of pubic hair. And I'm just like, I'm not showering in that. Like, what the hell? Excuse my French, but what the hell? So I called the staff. I was like, I'm not cleaning that, whatever. That, honestly, emergency housing, it was just, I was in a toxic relationship, so I wasn't making the best decisions. I was literally smoking my life away, drinking my life away. Like, it was just a lot of pain that I was trying to block out. It was just a lot. So next thing you know, November comes around. Before I get moved to transitional housing, literally the day before, end up going to a party. And I end up partying too hard. And what I mean by that, bro, is literally I drank straight liquor, mixed liquor, smoked like 8-10 blunts.
I was done for. I ended up in the hospital, OD'd, Benito.
And I didn't have a guardian, so the only way I could get discharged was if I had a supervisor from the shelter pick me up. They come and they pick me up from the hospital and they take me back to the crib. And I'm sleeping for 2 hours. And they wake me up and they tell me, pack your shit, you gotta go. I'm like, what? Mind you, I spent the whole night to the morning throwing up straight acid. I now am diagnosed with gastritis. I can't drink liquor. It will burn a hole in my stomach. And yeah, that is what you get for partying too hard. So beware. So yeah, that was a no-no. I didn't like the fact that, like, bro, you just have somebody who came out the hospital from ODing and you're making me pack my things just to go to transitional. Like, you couldn't wait till the next day. Are you serious? But besides that, I got switched to transitional housing. Now, mind you, during emergency housing, I was working at Taco Bell. And I got fired because I wasn't family related, right? Literally, all the employees, they were all cousins, they were all whatever. And as soon as Primo over here needed a job, they was like, bye-bye, shorty, you gotta go. And I was just like, wow, so that's how you feel. In New York State law, you cannot sue them or nothing if they fire you without a valid reason, which is bullshit, but whatever. I let it be. Got myself a job in 2 weeks. I work now at Burger King. Worked. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that because I quit. I worked at Burger King. So, my Burger King was located in Brooklyn. Guess where my transitional housing was placed? In Harlem. And this is all during COVID. So the trains closed at 2 in the morning. And I had the night shift. Mind you, I'm exposing Taco Bell. You had a 17-year-old working 15-hour shifts. 15-hour shifts. 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. I should have sued ya. But I'm getting off track. So yeah, Burger King. They placed me in Harlem. So now it takes me around an hour and a half to get to work. Yeah, that was a pain in my ass. Such a pain in my ass. But I didn't want to leave my job because my job was still placed where my grandma lived and where my friends lived. And I wasn't ready to let go. Like, I'm still low-key not ready to let go, but I know I have to. So, transitional housing. Now let's get into that experience. It was the most educational experience of my life, in a way. I literally learned that there are fake leeches in this world. I learned that there is people who will pretend to be your friend just to suck out every dime in your pocket. Because there was 3 shelters in one building. Because we were now in an apartment. So like, you would have regular people, and then like an apartment would be like a really big one, which would be the shelter, and there would be like 6 homeless people living there. So out of the 6 homeless people, I was the second one, and literally only 2 people who had a job. But the first one, he was smart, stayed to himself. guess what Wendy did? And like, I did say to myself, I did. When I went into transitional, mind you, it was mad sad. Everybody was looking at me because when I came in, I was butt ass crying. Like, got out of the hospital, mind you, I told y'all. And on top of that, they told me Harlem. And I'm like, but what about my family? What about my friends? Like, what? Nobody told me this. Nobody told me I was moving me to Harlem. Like, what is that? So I just was literally unpacking my clothes, crying, and it was like the most saddest thing ever. And I was just like, oh my God, they're gonna look at me like I'm weak. But it's you know, it's life. But yeah, so I go and I mind my business, and then there's this girl who's constantly like trying to be my friend, like she's my roommate. She's reading the Bible, making herself seem holy, and I'm just like, mind you, I am in Harlem now. I have no friends, no nothing. I barely talk to them, barely go see them because I'm working 24/7, stacking the bread. And then my significant partner was treating me like bozo. Let me watch my mouth.
Bozo doo-doo.
But yeah. And so I was just like, I let it happen. I let her be my friend. Next thing you know, take her to the store, get myself a $4 meal, and shorty comes out with a fucking, I believe, $12 meal with a hero, an organic drink, and a 75-cent, snack. And I'm looking at her and I'm just like,
Are you serious? You ain't even work for this. This is my money, sis.
And then she just cut me off over a conversation about God that I wasn't having with her. I was having with my social worker, so I was just very much confused. But whatever. Mind you, every time we would go out, it would always be like, oh, can you get me this? Oh, that looks cute. Can I get this? And I'm just like, I was mad nice. I'm not even gonna hold you. I didn't know how to say no in the past. I did not know how to say no. I would be like, yeah, sure. But even though I didn't want to, I would just still do it because I didn't know how to say no. But
now ask me for something. And oh, no.
period. What else happened? Oh, yes. Transitional housing. Had a roommate, because it got switched as well. I had a roommate who literally tried to break me and my partner up. Like, every time I would be talking on the phone, because in the shelter you got no privacy. I'm talking on the phone with my little boo thing, and this one is out here like, hi, and I'm just like, bro, mind your business, mind your business, mind your business. But no, right? So they both, like, my partner is queer as well as my roommate was, because obviously LGBTQ. So they get buddy, and then next thing you know, Instagrams are exchanged, right? Me and my significant other partner, whatever, we're literally clashing 24/7. Like, it was not funny. So when I would have conversations with my friends and vent to them about my partner, guess what this little dozo would do?
Yo, she don't love you. Yo, you could do so much better. Yo, I love you, bro.
And I'm just like, when I saw that bill, because mind you, me and my partner had chose a day to link up, and we're just chilling, bro. I don't know, none of this is going on, and he doesn't tell me. My partner does not even tell me, and I'm just like, watch when I find out. Bro, I'm literally sitting with him, and next thing you know, bing, message from my roommate. And I'm like, why is my roommate texting you? So I go and I click on it. I said, give me that. I looked at the messages, and this little bitch is out here. Oh, excuse my language. But this little ass dozo is telling my partner, oh, I love you, bro. But like, for real, she no good for you. She playing you, bro. And I'm just like, when I get to the show, I'm gonna beat that ass. Like, oh my God, I was flipping out. I called the supervisor. I was like, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna beat some ass. I was not playing. I was so mad. But I got high. Like I told you, I would cope the wrong ways. I got high, got drunk. When I came in, I'm just looking at the supervisor and I'm just like, sis, I don't even gotta say nothing. Here's the messages. Sis, here's the messages. Showed her the messages, got that roommate kicked the fuck out because those go to the door. So, matter of fact, let me fix that.
Those get the boot.
I was gonna say another thing, but let me not. Anyways, but yeah, transitional housing just really blew minds. And then, like, I have OCD, so as you can tell, everything has to be perfect, and you have people who are not clean the way you are clean. You have people leaving period blood on the damn sink and toilet. How? That is mad unsanitary. Like, so unsanitary. So I just got tired of it. But eventually, as you guys can tell, I got my own place at 18. I have my own car, my own place, and I am grateful to God. It took a lot. I was in a shelter for a year and some change. Like, I've been 18 for a minute now. Even on my birthday, I was still in the shelter. Shit was a disgrace. But we're back at it again with the good vibes. So mental health wise, I got put on antidepressants in the shelter because they diagnosed me with PTSD, depression, and anxiety. And I am very proud to say that I stopped taking my antidepressant medication. I try to be happy on my own. And let's see what else. Me and my partner are doing good. We're dating at this point. It's not official, but we're good. And as I can tell, I have a nice little space to myself. Have my own bathroom. So can't nobody tell me nothing. Nothing. So thank you, God. Oh, by the way, this channel is about my journey to being a billionaire. So definitely stay tuned because I will be teaching you everything that I end up learning throughout the way to become a billionaire, because I never want to be homeless again. So this is the journey, and I'll be teaching you my quirkiness and my music, and this is just my blog. But anyways, thanks for listening, and ciao.